guys, it's the Chey here, and today we're going to be remodeling 910 Medina Studios. As you can see, it's kind of run down. They have these really drab carpets. The whole thing's kind of just meant to look dingy. And right now it is a one bedroom. I do end up making it a two bedroom, so it doesn't exactly fit the sim that currently lives here, but I still like how the renovation came out. This layout that they currently have is just kind of odd. It's definitely a really rundown apartment. That little island they have kind of takes up most of the room in the living space, and then you can see they have their TV on the little boxes and everything, and it's just kind of a drab build. So let's get started on this remodel. So I did end up going for more of a modern feeling. So right now I'm just lighting it up and trying to work out a little bit of a floor plan. As I said, it does end up being a two bedroom. I think I put it for basically two parents and then a teenage age girl, more or less. And then I did do a bathroom, obviously, and I also did like a little utility room, so where they have their laundry and stuff like that. That's what that tiny room that I currently have pretty much ends up being, because they had those really big pipes in the wall, and I wasn't exactly sure how to integrate those, so I figured make a utility room. So the farthest room that I'm currently extending ends up being the master bedroom, and here you can see me looking up images of what modern houses actually look like. I don't have a whole lot of reference, as it's not what houses where I live tend to look like, so I did have to look up a couple reference images to kind of get an idea. I knew that, it was more open spaces, a lot of black and white, and things like that. In this apartment, because I did make it a two bedroom, it did end up being a little bit more closed in, but I feel like with all the white that I used to brighten it up, it kind of made it feel a little bit more open, and I used quite a bit of mirrors to help give it that open feeling as well. The only thing that's not quite as modern looking, or the modern that I tried to portray, is the bedrooms, because I figured, bedrooms kind of tend to have their own little personal vibe compared to the rest of the living space. So one thing that I did like about this apartment that I wanted to make sure was in the living space was this very large window. It really does open the space, and I think gives it more of that modern vibe. Like I said, I'm kind of shooting in the dark a little bit here, but I did try. I think it still ended up coming out pretty good. We used a lot of white furniture. I wanted to use this big curved TV because I wanted to make it look a little bit more upscale, but the curved TV, even when I sized it down, didn't quite fit in the space, so I did end up going with one of the more standard two-tile TVs, which I think is fine. I don't think anyone's really going to judge this build on the TV. But I did end up getting this TV stand that goes with this whole room. I think it ends up looking pretty well. It's the self-illuminated fireplace one. I believe it's from City Living. But it gives this nice warm glow, but it still has that white, and it looks like it kind of has a marble top, so I think it helped pull the room together. And then I'm just looking for a couple different colored rugs. Rugs in this game have always been a little bit of a hit or miss. You can kind of have some that fit really well, then you have a lot that are kind of just obscure and a little bit more difficult to use. But then I'm going on to the bathroom. I wanted to make sure they had a full tub, and if you can see, there's a little power utility box right below the toilet. I actually made the toilet gray as to somewhat try to camouflage that box. I don't know how well I actually managed to pull it off. I don't think I pulled it off that well at all, but I did try. I wanted to see if it would look alright and if it would camouflage it a little bit. That is one thing that's annoying about apartments, is having to build around those pre-fixtured items that are already in there, like the floor drains and the pipes, utility boxes, but it's alright. So as you can see in this room, we ended up having the dining room kitchen area. I did wish this apartment building was just a tiny bit bigger, because then I could have pulled off the open floor plan a little bit more. But I tried to keep a little bit open, like using an archway instead of a doorway. And like I said, there's a lot of white and quite a few mirrors to help maximize the space. And I don't know what about this screamed modern to me. I think it was just the really high ceilings, the huge window. I think it ended up looking alright. So I'm just putting in some of the appliances. We did go for a white countertop, some black appliances, and then I was trying to get a table that fit in this space well. A lot of them are a little bit larger, and I wanted to make sure that it still fit the space well. I didn't want it to feel super cramped. And this is the little utility room I was talking about. There's not a whole lot going on in there. Laundry, a couple other decorative items, and that is the floor drain that I was also mentioning. So I did cover that with a large plant. Like I said, I hate trying to build around those little prefix items that you cannot move. But I think we still ended up camouflaging at least most of them pretty well. I mean, the pipes weren't really camouflaged. They're in the little utility room. but the drain's under that plant so you can't see it, and I tried to tie that power box into the toilet. I don't think it worked very well, but the intent was still there, and that's what matters. So now we're on to the daughter's room. As I said, it is set for more like a teenage girl. I really like the pattern that's on this bed right now. I don't know why I haven't used that previously, but I think it came out looking really cute, kind of feminine, but it still had that kind of modern vibe, I think. And does anyone know what's up with these counters and cabinets? Like when you put the corner pieces in, like you just saw, they don't quite color match under the lights. Sim lighting has always been a little funky and a little odd, so I can't say a whole lot, but it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. And I gave them a little Roomba, once again figuring they're modern, they're cool, they got a cleaning robot. I want one of those in real life so bad. I would kill for it. I don't know why. I don't even care if it's very effective at cleaning the floor. I just want to have a little robot butler. Like, is that too much to ask? I mean, I don't exactly have robot butler money right now, but I want it. I've always wanted one since I first saw that they came out, and it's been quite a while. I really want one. So now we're moving on to the bedroom. This one had a little bit of an odd layout. I wanted to put more in their bedroom than what's currently in here, but I also wanted to make sure the bed was accessible from both sides. Some people are saying that their scooting mechanic has fixed, and if you don't know what that is, it used to be where in The Sims 4 you could have the bed right against the wall and they would scoot, but then it kind of got bugged for the longest time and it wasn't working. So I don't know if that's fixed. I've heard a lot of people say it is, but I haven't actually got to experiment and try, so I just still try to keep the bed away from the wall. I want to make sure that they're at least functional. And you guys see, here are some mirrors. I use a lot of these low ceiling dangly lights. I think that they came out really pretty. And then you saw me do the Christmas lights in the girls' room. You guys already know I love doing that. I think the Christmas lights, when they're staggered like that, look very pretty. And, I mean, I guess it's the closest thing we have to fairy lights currently, and fairy lights are very in style right now. So that's what I went with. And as for the modern aspect of this build, I think it came out pretty modern. I mean, like, the doors are a little bit more rugged, or I don't know, a little bit more that kind of style. You all know the style I'm talking about. A little bit more cottage, farmhousey, but I still think it all came together pretty well. I think things like that, depending on the items you surround it by, it can be a little bit more universal. So then we just threw up some paintings, some decorations. I want to be able to use this light so bad, but it is just so big and awkward. It kind of doesn't fit anywhere properly. So even though this one's at max ceiling height, it was still huge. So I don't know where to put that, but I want to use that light at some point. I just think it's such a big, oversized light that it'd be really fun to use in a few builds. But I guess we're just not that creative yet today. So here we go on to the final walkthrough. So here's the front door. Obviously, I can't change that as it's part of the apartment. But as you walk in, you see the table. These plants I put up on the wall, they're kind of high up, but I think they were still pretty nice. The painting, the kitchen area, there's that corner cabinet that I was talking about that does not match the color for whatever reason. And there's the guy that originally lived in this apartment. I think he got a little bit of an upgrade. So here's the daughter's room. I think it's very cute, very feminine, but still keeps that vibe up. And it's very subtle pinks and stuff like that around it. It's not like in your face. And then here is the living room. Like I said, I used this big mirror, these hanging down lights, and a lot of white to help open up this space. I think it came out pretty well. And then here we go into the bathroom. We have this kind of spa type sink, the large mirror, and that's what I said I tried to do by putting the power box over the toilet. It really didn't work as well as I had planned, but the intent was still there. And here's the utility room, just some brooms, some laundry stuff, and a washer dryer, nothing super fancy. And here we go into the parents' room, which is more of a blue set. The plants, once again, the huge mirrors, and the big hanging down lights. I really think it opened up the space. I think it made it look a lot bigger than it already was. So I did want to take a second to apologize. I know I have been a little bit late on my uploads. There's just been a lot going on with life, with quarantine. I think everyone's just going a little stir crazy. I'm going to be trying better to make sure that I'm uploading videos as I should. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Share it with your friends. It really does help out the channel. And I would love to see you guys back here tomorrow or at my next upload. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.